Come on into the room. We are live. I am the H-Town vet. We're about to get started here. Trying to reach critical mass. Thank you for joining us here at the H-Town Vet. We're going to be talking about an interesting topic tonight. Traumatic brain injury, TBI. Get ready to get started. Let us know if you can hear us good. Let us know if the music is too loud or not. We want to continue here. Thank you, Lewis, U.S. Army. Thank you for joining us, Lewis. Let us get started here. Take the banner down. Okay. Today's topic, traumatic brain injury. Okay, everybody's coming in. Uh-oh, let me stop there. The family's in the house. Don't get me started so early. I'm trying to keep my cool and maintain my balance. You understand? So we got to give shout outs. Lewis, Army from the Arizona. Okay. Let me know if y'all can hear me clearly. Oh, you say hear me just fine. Mr. International, thank you. We got one-man wrecking machines, the support that they give. Thank you for everything that you've given, Mr. International, and continued information and financial. Thank you, my OB, High H-Town Vet. I told you I'm consistent with this. You know, I like to talk a lot anyway, so. Now, if you don't want me keep getting your other name up, look at everybody popping into the room. Family, we are here. Now, let's see, my OB says hi. Major Boomer said we can hear you just fine. We got to go back up to our brother International, said, what's up, fam? And Lewis says Arizona Army. And then we got Alaskany. Is this I'm wondering if this is Yendell. Let us know. Then we got Kevin, U.S. Marine Corps, Memphis. Talk about it. Then we got Angel, my brother Angel is in the house. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell. So glad to see you. Say greetings, folks. Then we have Kevin say evening fam. Louis says thank you. That's what we do. We thank each other. There's no fakeness here. Okay, Alaska is not. Yandel got me right. Alaska is a different person. So thank you, Alaska. Alaskan. How you pronounce it? Alaskan. And Yandel say no. I'm Alaskan Ice. Yandel, we'll never get you mixed up with anybody else. We do apologize. We make our correction. Now, so glad to see the participation and the information that we're putting out, because we're going to cover a variety of topics. We're going to cover the things, and at the end, if this is your first time here, Louis, I don't know if it is, may have I've seen you before or just in the chat. We're going to have the after party where you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. And throughout this, you can interact. Let me pull myself up on the screen to let you know who I am. I am the H-Town Vet, and I'd like to welcome you to this live stream. Okay, now let me move it. Let's put it where we can get it here. Okay, now let me get back to it. Now, yeah, he was asking about that PayPal. Let me pull that up. I'll try to do it, but I found PayPal. I kind of set it up, but I ain't finished it. My daughter had to go to a party, so we were working on that, Maobi. I apologize. The next time we come through, we should have PayPal done. I was working on PayPal and Zelle. I'm not for me because I'm trying to use my what I haven't done that yet, so I'm working on it. My username. So that's the kind of the issue. So be patient with me. I know a lot of you would like to donate, and I appreciate you. Right now, we just had a Cash App up. Now let us continue. Any interesting news happening? Did y'all hear about what? The president say he's gonna step down, or is he really stepping down? How's that gonna affect our veteran benefits? We're gonna talk about these things in the after party. You can give a little comments now if you'd like to. What effect do you think this is gonna have on us as veterans? You understand? Now let us continue. Traumatic brain injury, especially within the military, a lot of times happen in combat situations, you see. And it involves injuries to the head. All right? This is a frequent problem in the current wars, okay? Now, we're going to do a little overview for people that's new to the channel, and we're going to just reiterate to us, then we're going to get into the topic. Now, let's see. CIC, old, new, it's big, it's a big deal. Okay, yeah, I know. I'm working on that, though. Hold on, let me see what my brother Malby said. Sounds good. Great, godly. Okay. Daughter, yeah, my daughter be looking out for me, and my niece. I've been blessed, Now let us continue. And like we say, you can comment throughout the live stream, Alaskan. Now, that's how we do it here. Commander-in-Chief, yeah, it's a situation, He's talking about not dropping out yet, the president, until after the election. But if he's incompetent right now, should that be a concern if somebody tries to see that as a weakness to attack us? These are just questions that I have. Now, for those of you that are in here right now, most of you are familiar. We do our live streams on Sundays and Thursdays. I haven't released any videos lately. It's been a month or so. I've been focusing on these live streams and getting the information out there. But we do have a video library that covers a variety of topics, especially when it comes to filing claims, the decision letter, the award letter, the notification letter. All these things are covered. Back pay. Now, just know that's it. We're going to be starting at 7 p.m. Unless something happens, we may start a little later, never earlier, because we want to make sure we don't miss anybody. But you'll see it in the, you'll see that. Now, we just kind of recapping some of the things that we will cover. We're trying to avoid fake news. For me to bring that up to a political time, we want to make sure here at the H-Town Vet, we're putting out the facts. We're going to go through this here. Now, the goal of the H-Town Vet is to get informed. What are you getting informed by? And see, remember, we don't have time to waste. Not much time. We don't have any time to waste. We need to first know how to get our benefits, right? Once we get them, we need to know what they are, be aware of all of them, because a lot of times we're not aware of all the benefits we qualify for once we get our benefits. All right, let me pull myself up here. All right, let me see how I'm gonna do this here. Then on top of that, we want to be able to protect our benefits, which is key. The problem that a lot of veterans have, well, I got mine, man, I'm going to sit down in the corner somewhere. Now, you don't have to be paranoid or too hypervigilant, but you need to be protective of these benefits because they're changing laws every day to reduce veteran benefits. And we need to know what's going on in our state and in our country. Okay? Do they still have the community program? Now, here at the H-Town Vet, we do things differently. We're not just talking at you. All right? Your comments, your opinions, your comments, your feedback is vital to what we're doing here. And you can review any of the information. You can do something here that you can't do anywhere else. As my brother Jason says, call me back. You can contact us, and pretty soon we're going to set it up. I'm working on that too, where we can pull people up on the video. We're working on it. Trust me. You know, I'm not technology savvy, but we're working. I've been busy since the storm, you know, had my power off for a while. So I'm moving around with generators. The power's back on now. Now let's continue. Now, remember, evidence-based claims. Focus, evidence, VA law, and then put in your request. And we have a video on this. All right, winning VA claims that breaks it down step by step. Let us continue. Always remember to do your intent to file. We're just doing a little overview for everybody to have the information, so we'll be on top of it. We're moving through it fast. Make sure you get a copy of your C file. All right, now let's see which is your VA claim file, because if you want to do an outside independent doctor, that doctor needs to have your claim file. Let's see what the last key say. There's the $15 billion going to come from the existing veterans. Come to pay the existing veteran. Let me know what that is, what that's about. I'm not real clear on what that is. Let us know. We're talking about TBI tonight, but I'm going to do a little overview. Don't make sure you streamline your paperwork. Don't be throwing all type of paperwork at the VA. Get the paperwork that's important, because if you give them a stack of paper, how are they going to be able to go over all that? That you need to make it as simple as possible. All right, and we do that here at the H-Town Vet. Now, make sure you have the right forms. Make sure you decide whether you want to do it yourself, veteran organization, or lawyers. And make sure diagnose, nexus, severity level. Now, make sure you get that diagnosis. And make sure that you connect it to your military service, that diagnosis. For if you injured your foot or something in the military, make sure that if you injured because of your MOS, which is your military specialty, you make sure you let them know. Okay, severity level, that's where the money come in at. We're just about through with this. Be patient with me, everybody. Now, the more severe your condition, the more money you get. Always remember you have a year to file an appeal. Let me ask you this here. Anybody know, is there any different requirements on other types of claims where it's less than a year? Let us know in the chat. Now, here at the H-Town Vet, we want to make sure you know you need to keep checking with the VA. You need to check when it's time to update. You need an update of what's going on with your claim. We come up with two examples, two templates that you can use, give to the VA and say, hey, one deals with you haven't had a you haven't had a CMP exam yet. And the other one deals with the fact that you did. So we're going to do two options here. On the first option, that's what we're dealing with, okay? The person needs to update in their status, has it, and they hadn't had a CMP yet. So you put, has a CMP exam been scheduled? You ask them. Read all through this here. We went over in the last video, and it says, what is the current status of my claim? This is when you haven't had a CMP. Now let us continue. The other one, you have had a CMP exam, but you haven't heard nothing else back from them yet. So the last thing you tell them, what is the current status of my claim? You've already had the CMP exam and you want to know, have they went through the results yet? All right. Now understand this here. The VA can reduce your rating. Remember that. People tell you, nah, they can't ever reduce my rating if I'm 100% permanent total. No. If you have between 0 and 90%, they usually don't mess with you, but they can reduce your rating. Now, remember, the VA can reevaluate temporary ratings like IU, individual unemployability, between 2 to 5 years after you get it, and they can call you in for an evaluation. Unless you've had a permanent rating or any rating, a 100% rate or any other rating for 20 years straight. So if you, let's say you had 100% 20 years straight, whether it's temporary or permanent, you will be paid at the 100% rate for the rest of your life unless they can prove fraud. Now, let me take myself off the screen. We're almost done with this part. We're getting into TIU. Because some conditions fluctuate in severity over time, VA reevaluations are done to document any change in illness, all right? Always know that they can take your payments down. For example, if you fail to submit evidence that they asked you for, if you fail to attend a CMP exam, or if you submit false information, you can actually go to jail for that. Now, we're about halfway done. We're going to get to the other part and we're going to get into it. A lot of people feel that, well, if I have a permanent total rating, that they won't reevaluate me. Watch this, this report done by the Office of Inspector General on the VA. They evaluated people that had a permanent rating more than anybody else. They call them in for reevaluations. Now, let's get to it now. Let's deal with it. Traumatic brain injury. Anybody in here has traumatic brain injury or know someone that has it? You don't have to say if you don't want to, but it deals with trauma to the brain. Traumatic brain injury, TBI, occurs when a sudden trauma, such as a blow or jolt to the head, causes damage to the brain. Such as in a car wreck. Yes, you could be in a car wreck while you're in the military. You understand? You could be in a car wreck while you're in the military, or on base or off base. And Mal B says, yes, he has a TBI. Okay. We're going to need your information on that, you know, like you to give us some advice. So physical injuries, you can get a physical injury. That's a traumatic brain injury. It's not just physical. That's why I want to let you know This is how I get mixed up with PTSD, because they're supposed to rate you separately with PTSD and TBI if you have both diagnoses. Physical injuries, let's continue. Cognitive, things dealing with your thinking process, such as thought processes, decision making, memory, and creativity. Remember, PTSD affects some of these also, so there will be some overlap, but this is not considered pyramiding. But the VA don't always like to give you TBI and PTSD ratings, because they have to rate you separately. Now, there are emotional effects of having a traumatic brain injury. Now, let's talk about a little bit of the statistics when it comes to traumatic brain injuries. 1.4 million TBI injuries in the US each year. That's a lot, okay, for a variety of reasons. So it's not just veterans. Now, when it comes to veterans, 14 to 20% of combat veterans suffer a traumatic brain injury. All right. Now, the number of TBIs resulting from recent combat in Iraq and Afghanistan, this new Iraq war, is so large that TBI has been called the signature wound of OEF or OIF conflicts. So, this is a major issue because of explosions and roadside bombs and things like that the veterans are exposed to, the military personnel. Now, diagnosis. It's a trauma to the brain. All right. Now, what causes TBI? You can be an auto accident, as we stated earlier. Falls could cause it. Assault, blows to the head. Sports-related injuries, like, you remember what CTI, they call them, or whatever. That's similar to a TBI. When they's having concussions in the NFL and things like that. And also explosive blasts, which is closely associated with the military. Now, let us continue. Now, TBI, the main thing that, to kind of break it down, is either mild or severe from the information that I found. If you know more information, if there's some kind of middle ground, let us know. Now, mild, characterized by relatively brief change in mental status or consciousness following the injury. Now, so how serious is it? Severe, an extended period of unconsciousness or amnesia after the injury. You blacked out. Now, what are some of the symptoms? Difficulty sleeping, poor concentration, irritability, fatigue, depression, memory problems, headaches, anxiety, trouble thinking, dizziness, blurred or double vision. Because remember, if you had a trauma to the head, it can affect your vision. Now, sensitivity to bright light. Those are the percentages. The main one that people tend to have is poor concentration, irritability, fatigue, depression, and at the top of the list is sleeping difficulties. Now, let us continue. Now, there are some psychosocial effects, such as anger outbursts, depression, personality change, anxiety, and irritability. Fatigue. Who in here has been diagnosed with fatigue? Who in here has filed a claim for fatigue? If you filed a claim for fatigue, say yes. And if you say if you diagnose, say yes. Let us know, because fatigue is a big one. In particular, I think what they call it is it chronic fatigue? That's one of the effects of um, TBI, traumatic brain injury, low energy. How many of you in here, anybody here suffer from, let me just ask this, anybody here suffer from low energy? Let us know. Now, so much so that I've had this issue being a Desert Storm veteran, and where I just be burnt out and then just fall asleep in places, different places. Anybody fell asleep while they were still on active duty? All right, we just about done here. Chronic fatigue syndrome. All right, this is one of the effects. Now, what do they call it? The diagnosis when it comes to the VA, is it chronic fatigue syndrome? What do they call it? Let us know in the chat. Difficulty sleeping, like we talked about it. Now, sometimes even with medicine, this is the effects we talk. Irritability, you getting frustrated and angry in traffic, just getting irritated real short with people. Easy to irritate. Mood changes. You might be happy 1 minute, sad the second, confused the next. That's things that we need to watch out for, because you can file a claim for this and they pay good. It can cause you to be depressed. Now, I want to know, what do y'all think? Do you think that if you have TBI, traumatic brain injury, that you should be able to file depression secondary to it if it causes it? Let us know in the chat. Now, okay, memory problems. Now, we know that memory problems is something with most of the conditions dealing with any mental disorder. But remember, traumatic brain TBI is not just a mental, have mental symptoms. It also has physical, because it's actual damage of the brain. Temporal lobe, okay? Is part of our brain that stores memory and is most likely the section to be bruised in a head injury. You understand? And you question, you don't know what's going on. Now, headaches. Who in here has severe headaches? I want to ask you, that's another part of TBI, because you have a head trauma. And I want to ask you, how do you deal with your headaches? Let us know. How do you deal with your headaches? Do you take medicines and it help? Advil? Do you put ice on your head? Let us know in the chat. And what's the difference between the headaches and migraines as it relates to the VA? What are the different things that the VA pay when it comes to headaches? Do they pay for migraines and headaches separately? Let us know. Now let us continue. All right, now we're going to talk about anxiety. Now, this is the way that TBI, traumatic brain injury, kind of mirrors post-traumatic stress disorder and other mental disorders, because PTSD is an anxiety disorder, and a lot of people don't know that. Now, biting your nails is one way to show that you're nervous or have anxiety. What are some of the other things that y'all have done? I bite my nails before, like when I've gotten nervous. You know, anybody else have any other things that they do, pull their hair or anything like that? Let us know in the chat. Now, another thing that's a symptom of TBI is confusion and trouble thinking. Trying to stay focused is a serious problem. Dizziness. Now, let me ask y'all if y'all know, does the VA pay for dizziness separately? Let us know in the chat. Let us continue. Now, vision issues, vision problems. This is another thing, because depending on where what part of your head was hit or was affected by the trauma, that you could hit the back of the head, it can affect your vision, or it might affect your eye directly. Okay. And I think they give 100% for TBI. Also, now let's talk about treatment. In addition to medication, let's see what they're talking about here. You can get with a neurologist. So if you're trying to file a claim for traumatic brain injury, what you need to do, you need to make sure that you have the proper DBQ, which is a disability benefits questionnaire, if you want an outside doctor to do it. Have your information together of anything that shows your injury in service, and any current medical records that reflect that, and let them do evaluation. If you had to get brain surgery because of your trauma, that needs to be documented, okay? And the neurologists have you do different things to see if you have coordination, your dizziness, and different tests that they do. They deal with the brain. And often they have reports, and they'll explain to you what type of trauma you have and what are the effects of that trauma from the TBI. Now, we're done. Now, we can get into the after part if y'all like to. This is our Cash App. You know, we don't have the other things set up yet, but we're working on it with PayPal and Zelle. But H-Town Vet, Northside, capital, $, capitalize the H, the T, the V, and the N. Now we're going into the after party. This one ain't long tonight, is it? Anything that y'all want to talk about, anything as it relates to military benefits, veterans, anything that y'all want. Y'all been pretty quiet. Can y'all hear me? Let us know. Testing. Guess it's one of those nights. So what have y'all been up to? What do y'all think? Do y'all think the president should step down? What's your opinion? Do you think he need to step down immediately? Do you think he need to be given some type of evaluation? What's the weather like where you at? Anything? Everybody quiet. Let me see what he's saying. Mao B says this. Think a lot of veterans have TBI and don't know it, or are dismissing it. That's why I didn't know much about it. I got to be honest with you. I could have it. How many of y'all have had some kind of jolt to your head? You bumped up against someone when you was in the military. How would you know if you have TBI? We're in the after party. For those of you coming back in, we're talking about TBI. And Mao B said something interesting. A lot of people may have it that don't even know it. Now, how many people say? Some people say the president need to step down ASAP. Hold on. Listen, he got the nuke codes. He got the nuclear codes. Don't you want him to stay there? He still know his name. Is that not age discrimination that y'all trying to push the president out? Hey, look what he say. Major Boomer said president needs to step down immediately. Now, why are they giving so many problems? Huh? Why are they giving so many problems to the vice president who should take over? Because they don't have confidence in her, apparently, because they talking about somebody else. Now, here we go with the information. Keep talking about whatever y'all want. Look, Kevin say, Harris 2024, is she going to be able to beat Trump in that debate? Trump been holding his own. And since that attempt on his life, people been feeling kind of sorry for him. I ain't trying to stir up no mess. We about to get to what Yandel said here in a second, because she gonna give us this information, because I need to know the difference between headache. Does the VA pay separately for these things? Headaches, dizziness. Now, his cognitive abilities are very diminished. Now, couldn't he just been having a senior moment? That was just one time. Shouldn't they have let him have another debate to see if he all right? All right. Thanks, Ice. Okay. Yes, she is going to smoke Trump. We're going to see how it goes. Now, let's get over here to Alaskan Ice. Ain't that Yandel? Look what she says here. Physical symptoms may include, now listen to what she's saying, headaches, dizziness, balance disorder, nausea, fatigue, sleep disturbance, blurred vision, sensitivity to light, hearing loss, tinnitus. Did you hear that? Tinnitus. That's one of them, and I ain't put it in there. We're talking about TBI, traumatic brain injury. A lot of us don't like talking about it because we don't understand it. You understand? Now, sensitivity to noise. Anybody have any of these symptoms? Come on, I need you to be honest with us now. Don't lie to us. If you been having them headaches, and what's the dizziness, balance problems? Now let's see what they said. Remember, Kevin said Harris, who's for Trump, 2024. Who for Trump? That man took that little graze by his head and he took it like a soldier. Okay, he talking about Biden. His thing is what's called. Okay, yes, she's going to smoke Trump. Okay. Now, what do you think? Who you think? You think she should have a running mate? Do she have to choose a running mate? Who gonna be her running mate? Do you think they need to put another woman on the ticket? Huh? What you think they need to do? Do you think they need to be a man and a woman on the ticket? Do you think they need military? Mike is in the house. All right. Listen, had all that initial, and here's the bad part. It's coming back. Oh man. We talking about everything here tonight. So this is what military Mike said. I need to ask Yandel, why did the VA diagnose me with a concussion instead of saying TBI? Now that's interesting. Is a concussion different from traumatic brain injury? All right. Concussions are the same thing as far as the ratings, because what we need to know, Yandel, if you can look up the ratings, because you can get that big money for TBI. And let me tell y'all something else. Now I'm about to get messy with this thing. Do you want me to get messy with it? You get TBI, you can get all type of special monthly compensation up into the 3, 4, 5 G's. Let us know about that if you know, Yandel, that TBI are concussions, if they're different. Oh, Kevin said Michelle Obama, but she's not even a politician. Neither was Trump, but she haven't ever held a political office. Neither did Trump, did he? Now, how is a TBI diagnosis? I have most of these symptoms. Did you hear it? Huh? Now she coming with you now. She about to break it down. Are you ready for the information, Major Boomer? Grab your seat. Hold on, here we go. A concussion is a type of mild traumatic brain injury. Concussion symptoms usually are temporary and include a brief change in mental status. Remember we talked about that, the temporary and the mild and the severe? We'll kind of go back over, because remember, we went over it quick. We wasn't going to be long on that, because I know y'all like that after party. Now, they always do that. Just like they call PTSD anything else but PTSD. Now, the thing with PTSD, because one of y'all saying they gave y'all a service connected for you were a combat veteran and you was they gave you disability for your non-combat related injury, not your combat related injury, PTSD. As long as you get paid, they pay you the same for both. Man, now y'all cutting up in this after party. I would assume a TBI has to be diagnosed with MRI and other medical evidence. Now, here's the trick bag. You want me to be real with you, Boomer? MRI and all those other tests, even then, it's hard for them to tell. It doesn't always detect it. You could have it, and none of those things show it. None of the medical tests that they do show it. Ain't that something? Major Boomer say, I'm ready. Now, I have those symptoms also. Kevin, if you got to tell us, brother, which symptoms do you have, if you don't mind? Okay, I got the memory loss. I get dizzy sometimes, but I don't get dizzy that often. I ain't gonna lie with you on that one. She bringing the high fire. Yandel is spitting high fire. Hold on, let me get myself up here on the screen because y'all cutting up too much. You understand? Yeah, my sister Yandel says the VA rating TBI under 38 CFR 4.124A, which covers neurological conditions and convulsive disorder. Hold on. I got to stop there for a minute, Yandel. Are you saying that the VA will give you service connected for seizures? Because seizures deal with the head, and I don't know if you get a trauma, it might cause you. A lot of y'all need to consider filing this. I know I went through this fast, but this information is important. Do the VA cover for seizures? When you say convulsive, I'm assuming you saying seizure. Now let me continue on reading what our sister's saying. A TBI disability rating from the VA may depend on the symptoms you experience, including visual, let me continue, impairment, hearing loss. Y'all listen? Seizures. So she writes, seizures right there. Muscle weakness, concentration, judgment defects, and memory impairment. Do you think you can't get no special monthly compensation? Yes, you got veterans with TBI that's getting that big bank every month. So that's why they don't want to qualify. They don't want. Now, can you get TBI? Can you get service connection for TBI and a mental health disorder? TBI and a mental health disorder. What y'all say in the chat? Yes. Y for yes, N for no. It is something. That's right. Yes, indeed. I need to file. You hear Kevin say he need to file. That's why we doing. I know we doing off topics, but a lot of times y'all don't know. You may qualify for these things. You understand? And I'm gonna tell y'all in the chat, and by us communicating like this, you don't know how many people have been watching this video. And everybody come at the end, they don't want it in my mouth. They want to hear you. Make me a little jealous, but you know what? I ain't gonna let it bother me. Because you know what I'm glad about? My family. I'm here with my family. I'm here with my veteran family. I'm with the dependents. I forget which one of you brothers, your wife, dog face soldier in the house. Huh? He say big pimping. I'm saying, where he at? Where he at? Where he at? Oh, right here. You say right here? All right, all right. Now we got to get back up here because y'all going with it. Okay. Was told they had to do your autopsy to prove it. Now that's just dirtbag talk. Nah. No, they got other things they can check, and you need to find out about it. Y'all need to inquire about it, okay? Y'all moving so fast now, man. There's companies that offer DBQs. Are veterans advised not to submit those? No, you can submit them, Alaskity. They trying to discourage the VA. They supposed to weigh them just the same. We went over the DBQ. If you look, one of our live streams, we talk about the DBQ, and we H-Town Vet have a video on that. What kind of fraud can come from the DBQ? No fraud if you get a legitimate doctor to do it. They give their objective medical opinion. That's all that matters. Because the VA doctors only see you one time. The doctor you see may see you 2 or 3 times. And you get a specialist. When it comes to this, I think you can get a psychologist when it comes to traumatic brain injury. But the main person you want to do the DBQ is a specialist, a neurologist that deals with the brain. Hold on, Bernie in here. I'm going to tell y'all something. Y'all got my nerves bad. Wasn't nobody talking. Now everybody talk here. He said, H-Town Vet, my brother. I got to catch up because I got to give my brother military. Mike is in the house. I skipped some people. Now let me go back up to my sister. First, my OB say, hold on, have damaged eye from TBI, it's severe. You need to document that and you need to file that now, brother. Put your intent to file in until you get your paperwork together, okay? You're not gonna be suffering like this. And you need to go over to the eye clinic and see if they got a blind clinic in your area. No, brother, we about now here go Yendell, Alaskan Ice. Is her AKA Alaskan Ice. Rating schedule for central nervous system conditions of the brain, sleeping sickness, chronic epidemic, ephraitis, I forget to say, Parkinson's disease, bilar, palsy, stroke, quasi-presumptive. So some of these things are presumptive, but I don't know if you let us know if TBI has any presumption to it. Let us know in the chat. But nervous system issues, y'all need to look into that. Yendell, do you understand? We got something here that you can't get nowhere else. We have a Yendell, and when he a D-Law, then we got people asking questions like Dogface Soldier, my OB putting that out. And we ain't gonna say military Mike because him being a chemical expert, he be bringing all kind of knowledge. You understand? Now, here we go. Vascular syphilis, abscess of brain. Wow. Gravity, which is GM, cerebral, and I don't know how to say that last word. Do you see that information? Y'all better write this stuff down. He say Big Pimpin'. You know I'm in the house, brother. Now, Malby, I just want to get connected before amnesia and blindness take over. It's happening. Brother, listen. Malby, we here for you, brother. You know how to contact me, man. You contact me on them and all. And Yendell putting this information out. We here, brother, because we want you to get the help you need. They need to start giving you some special monthly compensation. But I think you have to be 100%. No, brother, no, we here for you. We gonna do what we can to help you. You understand? Penetrating TBI. Make sure I didn't miss nothing. Also known as open TBI. Interesting. So penetrating, so I guess it go through, happens when an object pierced the skull. Do you see this information? So there's different types of TBI. There's TBI where you can have a trauma to the head, a jolt or a blow. They got a TBI when something penetrates the brain, such as shrapnel from a grenade, a bullet or something like that. Oh, that's what he said. Look at bullet, shrapnel, bone fragment. Because now, understand what he's saying. If you get crushed and the bone fragments start hitting your brain, that's also something. And enters the brain tissue, penetrating TBI. Remember that. Any of you have a, what do you call that thing? If you have a Purple Heart, find out what you got it for. Anybody that fell unconscious while they was in the military, Now let me ask you that, Yandel. Do you think falling unconscious is part of a concussion? To fall unconscious or get knocked out, that's a trauma. Do you think that is the case? Now, typically, damage only part of the brain. Yes. Now we going because y'all got a whole bunch of information. I ain't gonna lie. Now, Military Mike, my brother, my man, Military Mike is in the house. You in Louisiana, bring some of them crawfish down here, and we gonna do this. Huh? Do you have enough crabs to make a good gumbo? Okay, now let's see what my brother's saying. Now let's get serious here. I have all those symptoms, but the VA lowballed me by saying I had a concussion. No, you go to a neurologist, outside neurologist, see them over time, Military Mike, and it'll be good to do it before you get out and try to get your diagnosis and ask the doctor with all these symptoms, that let them know. The VA said it's not severe, but show them your paperwork from the VA and have them run studies on you too. Then you're going to have them, because if you already say, doc, they say, do I have a traumatic brain injury? Have that doctor write that on there if they in their medical opinion, if they believe you have one. Say, doc, do you think this could be connected to my military service? That's the nexus. That's the next one right there. Then you say, hey, doc, how bad do you think my condition is with all these symptoms? That's your severity. More money, more money, more money. You understand, Military Mike? There's more than one way to skin a cat. You're not going to be sitting there waiting on them. You're going to do it because they lowballing you because you're getting ready to get, any of y'all that get 50% for a disability, that means you're supposed to get 70 to 100%. Because 50%, how can you have work at 50%? You can do half a job. What can you work at doing half a job? Now, Yandel, anybody that had anything that penetrate, now she first covered the things that penetrate the brain. Those type of the penetrating TBIs. Now she's talking about non-penetrating TBIs, those that don't go through the skull, also known as closed head injuries or blunt trauma. Is caused by an external force strong enough to move the brain within the skull. Now, this is what I want to ask right here, Military Mike. Is that what they're saying? That your brain moved around like a concussion? That's why they call it a concussion. Now listen what she said. Causes include falls, motor vehicle crashes, sports, injuries, blast injuries, and being struck by an object. Those were the things we covered. Did you hear me? Military Mike, we want your feedback now. Sad to hear, Military Mike. Condolence, Military Mike. We got to be here. And for anybody that's going through this, the other brother that had a TBI, we're not letting you go out like that. We're going to do everything we can to help you. Where else can you get on-the-spot information without going to some secret room? We trying to help each other right here. What else is there, Yandel? Our reference person on the spot. This does my heart good, and I really appreciate y'all. Y'all my family. We're going to keep doing this as long as I got blood pumping through my heart. You understand? I mean this. That's my brother. I'm going to put it Bernie up there. I love Bernie. He saves town. Where you at, Mr. International? Where you at, Angel? Now, cognitive behavioral symptoms of TBI, loss of or change in consciousness for anywhere from a few seconds to a few hours. Decreased levels of consciousness. Now, hold on. I didn't know about the decrease. So not only if you totally black out, what if you kind of fading in and out of consciousness? Hard to wake up, confusion, or disorientation problems, remembering, concentrating, or making decisions, changes in sleep pattern, sleep more. You might, because fatigue, you might sleep more. You might sleep less. What Al Green say? Love will make you come home early. It'll make you stay out all night. Now, difficulty falling and staying asleep, inability to wake, frustration, irritability. So it's very simple things that we don't connect to it. And my brother Angel, I have a CMP. Listen up, family. Listen up, family. We got our brother Angel about to go to CMP. We're going to stop the press and see what our brother talking about. I have a CMP exam coming up. Should I bring my private medical records Nexus, even though I submitted them to the VA with my claim? Here's the thing. If you got a private are you service connected already? That's the first thing. Do you have first thing we need to know, do you have a diagnosis? Let us know if you have a diagnosis from the VA. If you don't have one in the VA, do you have it from a private doctor? Do you have anything showing a nexus, a connection between your military service or your military service and your diagnosed illness? Is that with the VA or is that from the private doctor? Each one you got to ask, is with the VA or private doctor? Although I submitted them to the VA with my claim, you can't trust the VA to turn nothing in for you. But this is what you're going to have to be very careful with. You need to have only a few pieces of paper. Don't give them a book. If you walk in there, say, get 1 or 2 pages, have all that on one of them summary of benefits thing so they can refer back. I don't know if the VA gave you this. Don't go in there with no whole folder because they already got to look through the folder with the VA. And they may look at it and say, doctor, if you think about looking at this, because I don't know if the VA put it in there. You heard what I said? Now let's see what Alaska Nights. Now she talk about the money. Count the money. When it comes to TBI, I guess a 0% rating indicates a service-connected disability without any compensable impairment at the moment. While it doesn't provide monetary VA disability compensation, it establishes now listen, even though you get a 0 rating, it establishes a connection to your military service. So once you get a 0% rating, you got 2 things going on for you. All right, let me pull this up. I got to pull this up so we can, because Yendel's taking us to school here. Give me a second. We're going to pull this up. I'm going to pull my whole face up here. Now, I'm going to go back and I'm going to explain what she's talking about using this illustration. Now, what Yendell is talking about is this. All right. Now, okay, let me see what she has here. If you have a 0 rating, guess what you have? You got a diagnosed injury, right? Recognized injury or condition. You also have a nexus. You have it incurred in service, meaning there's a connection between your injury and your military service. If you had a 0% rating, the one thing you don't have is severity. Your severity is so low that guess what? Let me take this off the screen for a minute. Let me take myself off the screen for a minute. How does the injury affect your ability to work? If you have a 0% service connected rating, and we have a video, the advantage of a 0% rating. All right. So you can go into that. If you have a 0% rating, they're saying that your disability doesn't affect your ability to work or function in society. Now, so that's what I want to go over there. Make sure we did that. Now, let me make that small where I can get back up on the screen and see my family here. We'll keep that nexus so we can go over that. Now, let's see where we at. Because I think y'all cutting up here. I'm trying to get to us. She said a 0. Now she's gonna talk about a 10% rating. Let's go. We're gonna finish up and say it is okay. While it does not provide monetary, talking about the 0% rating, monetary VA disability compensation, it establishes a what? A connection between your military service. Allowing for further consideration if your condition worsens. Worsens means get more severe. So if you ever get a 0% rating, that's a good thing. My first rating was a 0% rating for post-traumatic stress disorder. I thought that meant I didn't get anything. No, guess what you get with a 0% rating? You get treatment for your service-connected disability, and you get the opportunity, if your condition gets worse, to file for an increased rating. So you're already in the door. You just don't, you ain't able to sit on none of the furniture yet. You understand? Now, 10% rating, mild level of impairment with minimal impact on daily life and work capacity. So, yeah, at this point, kind of, if you take a little medicine and you can still work, they give you a 10% rating. And I'm assuming this is for TBI, right? Now she gonna break it down. That's the 10%. Let's go to 20. Now, don't you thank God for our sister here, Yendell, aka Alaskan Ice? She said a 20% rate. This also now listen what's going on here. At a 20% rating reflects a slightly higher level of impairment with moderate effect on daily functioning or work capacity. So it might affect you to be able to do things. This is where that SMC starts coming in. When you're not able to take a bath, once you start living, you ain't at that point yet at a 20% rate. Now look what Mal B said. Thank you, brother. We got your back. We gonna help you through this. Now 30% rating. A 30% rating indicates a moderate level of impairment, significantly impacting work ability and daily activity. And when they talking about daily activity, they talking about your functioning in life. So remember, you get your disability based on how it affects your ability to work and your ability to function in everyday life, like dealing with people, going to the store, bathing, shaving, taking your medicine. Remember to take your medicine. Huh? Now here we go. A 50% rating suggests a substantial. Remember I told y'all, if you get a 50%, that's so serious you don't need to be working. So they need to pay you more. If they gave you a 50% rating right off the bat, in my opinion, they supposed to give you a higher rating. A 50% rating suggests a substantial level of impairment, making it challenging to maintain regular employment. That's right. How you gonna work and you 50% disabled? They gotta have a person. Now this is where the big money come in. Once you get to 70%, I want y'all to follow me. That's when you can file for that unemployability, even if you ain't got 100%. Especially if you're not working. That's main. If you have, because they're gonna ask for the last day that you work. Now let's talk about this 70%. A 70% rating signifies a severe level of impairment, significantly limiting work ability and independent daily functioning. Do you understand? That's why I've been telling y'all SMC. Once you get to that 100, get that SMC. Now we're gonna get to you, dog face, and our other. Now let's finish this up with. She said now from 70 it jumps to 100, just like PTSD. From 70 it jumps to 100. So if you have a 70% for TBI, you can go to that 100. 100% rating indicates total disability. Remember what we tell you, that total disability means you paid at the 100% rate. All right? You got symptoms at the 100% rate. What does permanent disability mean? that is static and not likely to improve. All right. So 100% rating indicating total disability renders you unable to maintain substantial. Now, listen to what it's saying. It didn't say no employment, it says substantial gainful employment. You understand? Now, let me get to our people here. Dog-faced soldier say, they gave me 20% for my lower back, which is ridiculous. This is what we need from you, dog-faced soldier. Go in there and read why they didn't give you a high rating. On your what do you call that letter? Decision letter, they have to tell you why they didn't give you a high rating. And that's what you're going to use to go for a high rating, okay? You're going to find those symptoms and you're going to take that into a doctor, take that decision letter and say, Doc, they said I only get this here. In your opinion, do I have these symptoms that's on this letter, on this decision letter? Do I have some of the ones that take me to a high one? Have them look over that. This is how you play the game, partner. Because they got to tell you why they didn't give you a high rating. Did y'all know that? All right. Does anyone have a good external TBI clinic? Now, I haven't thought to think of something like that. Very smart, Maobi. Anybody know of any way you can go to a clinic? Because I remember like a lot of y'all go to these clinics, and I'm about to get to your military, Mike. A lot of y'all go to these clinics. Do they have one for TBI? Make sure you have the event documented or events that cause your TBI and have a general time frame. Any in-service medical records would be very helpful. Now listen, my brother. This is words, not mine. I ain't been insensitive. Yeah, I busted my head in a vehicle crash in Afghanistan, and it's documented. This is key. They said my symptoms didn't last long enough, but it's been 8 years now. No, you're going to continue to seek treatment from an outside doctor. If you can afford to get one, military might, or if your doctor cooperates with the VA, but you go to outside and try to get your paper together and see a neurologist and tell them and take that paperwork to your doctor. And when that doctor see you for a period of time, you know what you're going to do? Because I'm telling you, that's big bank when it comes to TBI, brother. Because you're not just talking about the 100%. TBI is one of the fastest ways to be able to qualify for SMC, special monthly compensation. You understand? Thank you for telling us, brother Mike. Yeah, Mike, they played it down. They always try to lowball you. Huh? They want to lowball you. You hear me? Now, is it advised to bring the SMV5 to a CFP exam? No, don't take the manual because you might insult the doctor because they're supposed to know. You're not there to debate the doctor. But that's a good question though. But no, don't debate. Boy, you're gonna go in there, you're gonna make them mad because they supposed to know it. And why they check? No. You quote it afterward. If they forgot to put something in, you document once you leave out of that CMP exam, write down everything that happened, everything that didn't happen. Let me tell you something else. If the doctor didn't ask you no questions dealing with certain things, you bring it up yourself before y'all leave. Hey, doc, I got something to say. This here, my leg been hurting me. You didn't ask about that. Or you ain't got to say it like that, but say, hey, you know, my leg been hurting. And there's other things I want, this here, that, there. Let them know. I've been having memory problems. You just bring it up. And if he don't put it in the record, he or she don't put in the record, you bring that up. Huh? Now, don't bring no DSM-5. Don't bring the diagnostic manual into the into the doggone into the CFP. You're a bad man. I don't know what I'm gonna do with you. Traumatic brain injury, TBI, examination above. All right. Now, y'all don't forget to file for your clothing allowance if you qualify. August 1st is the deadline. Now, if they don't do it by August 1st, they have to wait a whole year before it come back around. Military Mike, let us know in the chat. Is now listen, this you asking some good questions, brother. Is 100% permanent total or TDIU required for free dental? You can get it for 100% permanent total. You can get it for TDIU. You can get it also for individual employability. I think you can also get it for a temporary 100%. Go watch our video, the 4 types of 100%, okay? Can you explain how the benefit alone is worth a lot? Not sure how much dental insurance is for civilians with no deductible. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to come up with something. I'm going to show how much our VA compensation is worth based on, because remember, we're not getting taxed on that. So let's say you get $4,000 a month. Somebody else, you know, that may not be but 46,000 or something. However, remember, no tax. You actually making what somebody that's making 50, 60,000, because they money get taxed. On top of that, you got dental care. How much they paying for dental care? They might have to have dental care for their family. They might have to have health care for their family. You got free health care. On top of that, think about all the state benefits. If you don't pay no property tax, that's like what, between $400 to $700 a month. Some places $1,000 a month in property tax that you save at the state level. You understand? Thank you, Military Mike. Thank you, Alaskany. Thanks. I will do that. I will see my outside doctor. Listen to Military Mike. When you get ready to do that, you know, you contact me, brother. Y'all got my H-Town vet email. And if you want to talk to me on the phone, I'll talk to you, my brother. Anything you need. You understand? I talked to one of y'all. I don't know if it was you or one of the other brothers. Y'all call me. I'll talk to you and help you in any way I can. And then we'll get back on here and get that good information. Now look what Military Mike say. Uh-oh. He say don't miss that when that's closing allowance. You better go and file it. Now, tell them about that closing allowance, Military Mike, if you don't mind, again, for those that are new to the live stream and to the channel. That $999.51. Tell them what type of how do you get it? You're service connected, but your service connected disability has to do what to your clothing? How do you get that clothing allowance, y'all? So I know, but I want y'all to break it down too. Okay, here we go. I will print out the meaning of these disabilities since they are not Dr. Right along with my notes. Okay, they will take it about half of the time. Yeah, they'll take it about half the time. Yes. So when she's saying she would print out the meaning of something, okay, so yeah. So if it's some kind of military terminology, sometime they'll take it. They took it with me, but I'm gonna tell you, y'all want to be honest? What blessed me is that my doctor who wrote the note was a VA doctor, and the doctor that I went to knew him as a professional. You understand? And had been knowing him for almost 30, 40 years. Huh? That was a blessing on my part, you know? And look, so what Yandel saying is print out the meanings of some of the disabilities, what they mean, and with the notes, okay. And they'll take them half the time. Your DBQ may not even be their specialty. That's what you need to find out. So when you get a CNP exam and you know you're going in there for PTSD, find out where you got to go first, and then find out who the doctor is there to find out if they even cover what you're getting done. You understand? That's real talk. And I want to say this here, Military Mike. Military Mike, Dogface Soul said something. Dollface, I love you, man. I love you. You say the VA is so stingy that they only way you get $1,000 clothing allowance is that you have to be have no arms, oh Lord, or legs, and register to vote in the state of Communist California, baby. Now he breaking it down to you. Remember I asked Military Mike to break it down about that clothing line. He did it. Thank you, Military Mike. He say if a skin medicine, prosthetic, or orthopedic device related to your service-connected disabilities damage your clothing, we will pay you $999.51 to replace the damaged clothing. But that means like you got a knee brace that protrudes from your clothes, or you have to put you have a service-connected disability, you got to put a cream, and that cream damages your clothing. How you gonna pass that $1,000 a month up? I'm asking you. Now listen what Military Mike said. This may be a one-time payment, or we pay this amount once a year. Okay. I want to ask you, Bernie, what's going on with you? How's it going with your claim? You got anything that you want to ask about or that you concerned about? How's your claim coming along, Bernie? Alaska T. Let us know about you. Where you at on things? Yandel, you got any of those high level review done? What are you gonna do with the other ones? Are you gonna appeal them? Mao B, I want you to stay on that vision thing. Find out if they have a vision clinic in your area. Go to your doctor and ask your doctor to give you some, and ask them while you there if this could be related to my traumatic brain injury when you at the blind clinic, and you get them to write something. All right? Military Mike, you need to actually, I'm going back. That's why I'm talking. I'm going back and look at the chat. You need to take that document to show that you're injured, not to show service connected because you're already service connected for it, but you're trying to get it for the TBI. Because as she said, now let's see. Let's see what he said here. What Military Mike said. Now let's see what Lasky say. I have a lot of medical appointments scheduled. Now, when you say medical appointments, are they CMP exam scheduled or medical appointments as far as going to the VA or some outside doctor? Let us know in the chat. What type of appointments do you have? Compensation and pension exams? You got to go see your personal doctor to get a CMP exam. Which one of y'all think that y'all would feel more comfortable going? Do you think, which one do you think has more weight? If you do an outside DBQ, the benefits disability questionnaire, or you do one with a CMP exam with the VA that they send you to? Let us know in the chat. Now let's see. So she's telling us about her duty to assist. I have 4 duty to assist errors. I have other claims. Didn't you win one of your duty to assist, Yandel? Did you win any of them? Have any of your claims been remanded or put to the side because they need more information? Anybody have any claims that's been remanded? Let me see. I'm gonna get to you, Mal B. Let me see what Yandel is saying about what we just talked about. They pay QTC LHIVES. I went to QTC back in the day, but the last time I had to go in for a claim was 2012 or 14. So they got these new ones. Let me ask you this here, Yandel. You explained some time ago. What are the difference between them? QTC, LHI, and VES. Do they do different things, or they all do similar things, or some focus on different type of VA claims and evaluations? Let us know. If the VA sends you to a CMP with these different outside agencies, how does that work? Now let me get to Mile B, my brother. I'm sorry for Missy. Yes, sir. I am always doing it. Am seeing a lot of civilian We need documentation, and what you need to do, streamline the information. Don't get the VA to get your documents from them directly. You're gonna get the documents that show and prove your condition. You understand? Now let's see what Military Mike is saying here. Oh, hold on. I may have missed what you said. Okay, these 4 highly reviewed, they were sent back for correction. Okay, Yandel. Now let's see what our brother Military Mike. Does anyone ever use VA transport to go to appointments? I've never used them. I see them outside the VA all the time. I made 2 requests so far, and they said that there was no drivers available. Some of my appointments are 90 minutes away. Let me ask you this here. Do y'all get this? Do the VA put you up in housing if you live a long distance from it? Because I know like D Law lives a long distance from I forget if it's in Memphis or wherever in Tennessee. So down here, if you live far away from the Houston VA, they let you stay at the Fisher's house, which is like a little lodging right there at the VA, or they'll pay for you to stay in the area. Huh? Now, hold on. Yandel, you've been keeping these secrets. I won about 10 that got sent back for correction. What did you do to correct them? Because we need to know this. Look, we started off and we had got done with everything quick. Y'all trying to keep me up all night. I'm worried about the president if he know his name or not. And y'all over here doing all this good information about veteran benefits. Huh? They all do CMP exams. Okay. They are contractors, talking about the QTC and everything. QTC is a contractor for the VA. That's the ones I went to, the CMP exams that they were orchestrating. They set up the CMP exam, QTC. That's the ones I went to. Contractor for QTC is a contractor for the VA that performs medical examinations for the VA. The results of the QTC exams are used to give a rating to the patient, which is provided to VA for record keeping records. Yes, let me tell you something. And they don't always go about it. Let's say that doctor put some good information saying your disability is permanent. They may not go by the doctor they sent you to. That's why you want a copy of that CMP exam so you can use that as evidence to fight against them. You sent me to this. The doctor said it. Now you trying to go against what the doctor said that you sent me to. If he said it was wrong, you would have went with that. Now let's see what the brother Bobby asked that they did not have it. There is an open job application for it. Okay. Now, the exam help keep track of a patient's injuries. So that's what the exams, these QTC and other exams are. And any injury that occurs in the future. The medical professional can, and when anything occurring in the future that the doctor's talking about, that's called a prognosis. All right? That's dealing where you at, that's called a diagnosis. But when the doctor say the severity of how bad they think it's getting, whether it's going to improve or not, whether your condition going to improve or not, that's the prognosis. That's the prognosis. How is it going to go far in the future? Now, the medical professional can understand the extent of the previous injury. QTC is a subcontractor with the VA. That's right there, subcontractor. That the VA uses to make some of the claim exams for VA. Now, he's talking about the transportation thing. It's terrible when I needed it. Were you able to use it, Malby? Were you able to use it? Who in here has you? How far do they go with that VA transportation? That VA transport. How far can they do they charge you? Do they get you to your appointments on time? Let us know in the chat. Are they handicap accessible? And I know they're supposed to be, but to the level that accommodate veterans properly. How's the seating? Let us know in the chat. Now, Yandel says, aka Alaskan Ice, you have to explain what they did wrong. Yes, if they made any errors on your thing, the VA, you got to tell them what they did wrong. Read the decision letter carefully. That's what I've been saying. So that's why I got Yandel backing me up. And you know, if Yandel said, it's that straight Bible there, huh? Make sure they list all evidence or state if they ignore it. And remember how you want to put it. Yandel, ain't nobody, she talking about all I do is copy and paste. That ain't no copy and paste right there. That's your knowledge coming out. What state if they ignore it. And the way you do it, you know how you state it? If they didn't consider, you say you didn't consider the whole medical record. That's straight up VA law right there. Now she gonna talk about that go meter. Now some of y'all better be real aware and familiar with, I've been hearing a lot about this go meter. I've been hearing lawyers talking about this go meter. Did the doctor use a go meter checking flexion, extension? So they supposed to measure how you respond, your reflex, your extension, how far you can extend out your arm, leg, bend over and all that. Get the DBQ to see what is supposed to be checked. That's why you need a copy. Even if the VA send you to a CMP exam for your back or PTSD or whatever, you get the DBQ before you go there. This is smart. I like that. So before you walk in there, I should have been connecting this dots, man. So if you're going in for your legs, go get the public DBQ off the internet for that the doctor gonna be going over, so you'll know whether they go over everything or not. And if they don't mention it, you mention it. But you won't know to mention it unless you had a DBQ that they gonna go through, and you can get that off the internet. You understand? Now, get the CMP exam to see what the examiner wrote. So first get the DBQ. When you go, don't take it in there with you. Just know it when you get back. That doctor didn't say this. Oh, he covered that. Kind of fill it out yourself, your own personal one. And then go get his CMP exam and see it line up with what happened. For those of you that just coming into the room, I am the H-Town vet, and we like to welcome you to this live stream. We are sitting here spitting hot fire. You're going to get more information from the chat that you're going to get from me, because this is an interactive process. I'm not here just babbling and talking. These people in here are knowledgeable people because they're telling us that their experience as veterans dealing with the VA system, claims that they have filed that were rejected, claims that they have filed that were approved, claims that they filed that were remanded. We're talking about higher level reviews here. We're talking about the CMP organizations, the subcontractors such as QTC. Now let's see what we got here. I got to finish reading what she said. At least as likely as not, they are. Okay. If you live far enough away from a VA, do they fly you to a VA medical center? How that works for those living off the grid. Now that's interesting. When they need an address from you, the VA needs to be able to give that back pay address. You're gonna have to have an address or something. Will they let you use a PO box? But I think they need some kind of official address. Now, I would pay Transpo. It's too hard, but they have none since the plague. Okay, they don't have none since the plague. Oh Lord, that plague did change. Yendell is good woman, H-Town. This man been trying to hook me up. He gonna get me in trouble when Yendell's man, you gonna get me hurt, man. Don't do that. Sir, don't pay attention to Dogface Soldier. He gets confused without his medication. Yendell is an important part of our group here. And all the ladies that come. And Frog Princess and the other 2 or 3 sisters used to come on a regular basis. I know they're probably busy right now. Because they come in every once in a while. Yeah, okay. Take care of her player and players. You crazy. I don't know what I'm gonna do with Dogface. So that's my boy though. Okay, having a DSM-5 would eliminate the explanations and the errors and reduce the needs for correction. Now you can have it, but you need it on your personal. You can't use it like a debate book. This ain't like you debating the pastor in Bible study with the Bible. You don't take it to the CFP exam. Let me finish what it said, reducing the manning requirement while saving the government money. Yeah, you wait to see what they wrote. Then you go back in that law book and then you find all the errors. And then you use VA law to quote what they should have did. So we got to do, in this case, you got to do Monday morning quarterbacking. Because you can't go in there with the book said, Doc, you wrong. Doc, you that don't work like that. That's an interesting statement, though. That's an interesting one. Okay, sometime after getting a duty to assist error, I still get denied. Wow. I always have a lot of medical records. Okay. Medical records are evidence, people. And I file a supplemental claim back and forth if I don't win. That's how you do it. Oh, you continue to file supplemental claims. Let me drink some water. Okay, supplemental claims back to higher level review. Okay, I'll leave the DSM-5 in the car. Please do that. But when you get back to the car, write down everything. Have a notepad. And you can take a notepad in there. If you tell the doctor you have trouble remembering things, you ain't got to show them what you write. But you go back and write down everything that you remember once you get out that exam. And then you're going to write that letter and say, and wait to see what the doctor wrote and say the doctor left this out. Or the doctor say this happened, but that didn't happen in there. And you ask them for another exam or for you to give your, you say just in case. Okay, great, thanks for the info. That's what we're here for. Now, if you're not a subscriber, please like, share, and subscribe. Okay, I forgot to put the subscribe thing in there. Smash that like button, you understand? But subscribe because you need to go through this information. We break it down. We have the forms. We give examples of how go to our thing, the DBQ. We did a video on DBQ. We did a live stream on it. So you'll know how to be familiar. We use post-traumatic stress disorder as the disability in example. And we went step by step. Didn't we go over all of it, y'all? That's why I say you at the right place at the right time. Alaska, how did you find our channel? How did you find our channel? Me and the family over here. How did you find us? Let us know in the chat. Now let me see. I'm gonna move this up here. Remember that year to file. I don't know what. Hold on. I'm trying to see. Okay, remember, number one, we're going to be having our live streams on Sundays, which is today, at 7 p.m., and Thursdays at 7 p.m. All right? Now, let me get back up on the screen, and I'm going to scroll this down. And another thing you need to understand in here, that you get to come in here. This is different any way you've been, Alaska, because we allow you to have your opinion, comments, feedback, review any information that we've went over here at the H-Town Vet. And if you disagree, let us know. If I'm wrong, we got no problem correcting it. You understand? If you notice, the environment that we have in here is one of peace, harmony. So guess what? Trolls ain't gonna feel comfortable in here. See, because we all working together. That's why I didn't want to start out with a 10,000 followers, because you're gonna have a whole bunch of riffraff in the middle of that. You understand? You want to start off with that solid core. And that's what we doing. And we gonna build this thing, because it ain't just me building this, we building it. And I appreciate what all y'all do. Now, let's see here. And another thing, this is how it worked. The evidence-based claims, focus. Oh, you found me on YouTube. Okay, you found me on YouTube. Good, good. Go there, go there. There are other good people out there, but the thing with us, we're interactive. We're veteran-centered. Okay? Oh, here we go. Supplemental claims. Let's see. Yandel breaking it down. Let me get back up on the screen. She said, supplemental claims. If you disagree with our decision, talking about the VA, if you disagree with our decision on your claim, a supplemental claim may be an option for you. Okay, now I'm gonna ask you about this supplemental claim, Yandel. This is very interesting. Learn when and how to file a supplemental claim, and what to expect after you file. Okay, now let's say we decide your claim in the past and your claim isn't contested claim. Okay, we decide your claim in the past and your claim isn't a contested claim, as long as it ain't contested. Let me ask you, what's the difference between a supplemental claim and an appeal? Because I'm not as familiar, because a lot of these terms came up there after I had already got my benefits, and we didn't have all those terms, supplemental, high level review, and all that stuff. Contested claim, and you must meet at least one of these requirements. You have new and relevant evidence to submit. Remember, you need new and relevant evidence. Say, hey, they messed up. That's new and relevant evidence. My doctor just did an evaluation on me. That's new and relevant evidence. You found something in your military records that wasn't considered in the claim. That's new and relevant evidence. Did you hear? Now, we can help you gather. When she's saying that she's talking about the VA. She's quoting the VA. We can help you gather any evidence you identified, or you're requesting a review of your claim based on a change in law, such as the PAC Act. Now, remember, when they say they can help you with the claim, that's called a duty to assist. The VA has a duty to assist you to find your military records for your claim, to find any pertinent evidence that's helped you with your claim. Do they always do it? No. You're going to do the work. Now, let's see what our brother military Mike said. In general, do supplemental claims take long to complete? I don't know. So Yandel, do supplemental claims, and Mr. International, let us know if supplemental claims, if you know, take longer to complete compared to what? Like an appeal, compared to doing a decision review officer? What's the use of time? Now let's see what Mr. International talk about. Glad to hear you interacting with us, brother. I prefer filing a supplemental claim over a high-level review because it avoids delays from duty to assist issues. Hope this tip helps. We need you here all the time, my brother. To help. Yes, because that's what Yandel says she keeps having problems with, that she get what? Duty to assist errors. Huh? So what is it about supplemental claims that is to you feel like they're a smoother process just because they work, or is it something in it inherently that makes it better? Let us know in the chat. All right, and we're gonna start going over. We did TBI tonight. We're gonna go over these things. Now let's see what Yandel is saying. 3 to 12 months, hard to say. Some people get lucky and only wait a week or two. Wow, or a month or two. Choose the higher level review option if you don't want to submit new evidence, but you think a mistake was made. If you think a mistake was made, okay. If you think, let me see what she's saying here. A senior claim adjuster will review your claim in an average of 125 days. Now, where does the decision review officer, the DRO, they don't come into play with this? Let me know in the chat. Choose the supplemental claim option if you want to submit new and relevant evidence. Now, Mr. International, did you submit new and relevant evidence? That's why you like it, because you can submit more evidence, or it's just quicker in general? Okay, VA will assist you in gathering the evidence, the evidence you identify. This option will take an average of 125 days. 125 days is how many months? My Lord. Is that 6? But that's about 5 months or so. I don't know how many months that is. Choose the Board of Appeals option if you want the board to review your case. Now, what we're going to come up with, Mr. International, I want you, Yandel, and the rest of us, what we want to brainstorm, we're going to come up with this. We need this, and y'all going to help me develop this as we do it. I'm going to bring the information, and I'm going to set them out. When is it better to do a supplemental claim? When is it better to do a higher level review? And we're going to talk about that, okay? A high level review is a senior rate. Okay, that's the same thing then. Alassian, how often is a minimum should someone see the VA that rates 100% permanent total without showing trying not to get better? I don't know, trying not to get better. It ain't about not trying to get better. It's just that, hey, it is what it is. What happens to those that get 100% permanent total TDIU that go off the grid? Well, you might go off the grid, but you need to continue to seek some treatment. You still off grid, but you need to show up off the grid to get your medication. Now let's see because I want to do that, because I like how Yandel and you, Mr. International, how y'all bring this information, and we need to know that. And let me tell you something, Mr. International, he tell him what your specialty is. I don't want to get it wrong, but he's a VSO. He helps veterans with their claims, I believe. Let us know in the chat there, sir. Okay, once you do a high level review and a duty to assist area is identified, it will go back to the supplemental claim process. Oh, now let me ask you this here now, Mr. International. Can you start off with the supplemental claim instead of doing the high level review? Talk to me now. Talk to me. Now let's see what our sister and Mr. International, Alaskan Ice is actually Yandel, aka Yandel. I missed something. I jumped down too far. Okay. Appealing to the board directly, review option if you don't want to submit new evidence or have a hearing. You don't want to do those. You can go to the board. But that wait at that board, isn't it about 2 to 5 years or something like that? Okay, but that back pay gonna be adding up. And what claims get approved at the board more often than they do at the regional office? Let us know. Now, choose the evidence submitted option if you want to submit additional evidence, but you don't want a hearing. Choose the hearing request option and let them know what he's talking about. Is that online? Hearing request option if you want a hearing with a veteran law judge. Now that's interesting. Now, if you get that veteran law judge, will you better do that by the telecommunication, the thing, or do you have to go to DC or wherever they want you to be at? Let us know in the chat. After the hearing, the veteran law judge will review the evidence the local VA office considered. Okay, now about to get to you, Mr. International, and let me as well as your hearing testimony, so you get to testify, and any additional evidence you submit the day of or 90 days, within 90 days after the hearing. This option will take longer than 1 year. Yeah, but you get to put in a lot of information. Now let's see what our brother's talking about, Mr. International. I only believe in doing high-level reviews if you believe your rating should be higher. Okay. All right, let me read that again. I only believe in doing high-level reviews if you believe your rating should be higher. So if you're going for an increased rating, that's when he feel like you should do high-level review. Like you already got a rating, but you think they should have gave, instead of giving you 50%, you feel like they should have gave you 70% or 100. All right? Don't do a high-level review for service connection. That's right. You need to you can get that service connected done outside that VA system. That's why now listen to what he said. Now look who he is. Who are you talking about here? Check him out. He say, I am an accredited VA claims agent. Huh? Look him up. Check him out. Because the brother's been cited on our end. Always put spitting high five. Now, you can continue to do supplemental claims as long as you have new evidence. Okay. See, that's what I need to know. So long as you have new evidence, you can do that. And y'all teaching me stuff about going to the board and everything with that evidence. See, we breaking this down. We gonna get this stuff together. You understand? Because a lot of this stuff is confusing for the veteran. High-level review, supplemental claim. Y'all letting us know when we need to use this and when we need to use that. And we're going to get all this information together. And I'm going to try to put in a video bringing y'all knowledge in there. And I appreciate y'all for, you're not my bus driver, Mr. International. You're not my bus driver in there, but you're taking me to school. You understand? Now, but it don't be a rater. It don't be rated by a senior rater. Okay. Supplemental is just getting denied on some. Okay. High-level review, you get an error. Okay, it's an error. Now, duty to assist, and they have to go back and get what you need. If you have new evidence, you can't add it after the duty to assist error. So once you put a duty to assist error, you can't add no new evidence. Now let's see what he says here. Lasky. Is there a way to get the word disabled changed to restricted? I don't know. That's not the terminology that the VA uses. Restricted, they might be restricting you from a whole bunch of stuff, firearms and stuff. Be careful with that word restricted. But tell me what you mean by that. Alaskan is very sharp. He thinks outside the box. Now, y'all been incredible tonight. If y'all got something else to say, we're going to say it, because y'all keep, but we're going to get ready to close out in a minute. But I want y'all to give your last comments here. All right, give y'all last comments. With anything y'all want to say. And Mr. International, we thank y'all. I don't know if y'all was here last time, but we thank you and Military Mike for your donation. We actually put what y'all did on that, and we appreciate that. We always appreciate all the input that everybody put, and we really appreciate that. Now, see what Mr. International say. Family find out I'm disabled, they will say you don't look disabled. But if I say restricted, they will say, okay, wow. Well, just tell them restricted. Don't wait for the VA to see it. Huh? Now, y'all been very incredible. Let me see here. I'm gonna let it just flow through while we talk. Any last comments, any shout outs? Because I say that don't forget to file an intent to file. Make sure you get a copy of your claim file for your request. Don't submit too much paperwork to the VA. Please streamline that paperwork. How do you do it, Mr. International? How you keep it simple? Now look what he say. This is good. So good taking notes, trying to keep up. Thank you. Yeah, so play back with the chat, okay? All right. Man, we doing it. And we want to say thank y'all. And that is the if anybody want to donate, there it is right there. Yeah, we already in the after party. We went through this is the after party already. We went through the slideshow already. We went through quick, Military Mike. We went through quick, brother. Because we went to what you call them? The TBI, and y'all pretty much covered. Now let's see what we got here. See, y'all like that after party. Anything y'all want to talk about? Y'all want to talk about the VA benefits? You want to talk about the president, the situation with the president? Anything within reason. We all right. There, one night we was talking about relationships. There was cashews tonight. I got the cash. I ate them all up. Where was those cashews tonight, H-Town? I ate them all up. I had 2 little packs on, so I ain't buying no more. They good and healthy for you. And those taste good. I forget what brand they was. Now, let's see what our brother said, Mr. International. The threshold for new and relevant evidence in a VA claim is quite low. Oh, really? Huh. Teach us something now. I'm gonna get to. Let me. Okay. Great show as always. We appreciate you, Mr. International, and we're gonna get to you. Or what's I'm gonna get all 3 heels out the way. Power, brother. Keep the knowledge coming. Keep supporting us. We about to close out. Let's see what our sisters say right quick. Alaskanites, aka Yandel. Some people go to the board and it takes 2 to 8 years, and then it gets remanded if there is an error. What's a good way to avoid the board? Do y'all know any? What under what circumstances would you you could get it done faster? And what's the longest you've seen somebody at the board? Has he ever seen somebody there for 10 years? You said 8 years, my Lord. You say, I appreciate great show. I always appreciate it. Let me see what Mr. International say. New and relevant evidence could simply be a statement on how your in-service incident is affecting you now. This is something that I haven't said in a while, but remember, it ain't just that you service connected for it. You might be service connected, and it might have been bad back then. The VA want to know how it's affecting you now. You may not have been able to walk while you was in the military from your injury. The VA, Mr. International, broke it down. It's how it is affecting you now. That's what they pay for, the severity of what's going on with you right now. Not how bad you was 10 years ago, 5 years ago. They want to know how is it affecting you now. Huh? Now, usually remand a case when a lower court interprets a law incorrectly. In VA circular system, appeals are remanded for many reasons. A remand may be necessary if there was a change in the law. Remember we talked about the different claims, change in law. Remember we talked about that? Man, y'all keep coming back in. It got low, didn't you? Supreme Court. Anybody, what's one of the major cases that went to the Supreme Court? Their Spouses Act, when they getting veteran benefits, that was one of them. Now, change in law, a worsening of a disability on appeal, or the veteran introduces new evidence or theory of entitlement at the board. So you can come up with a different theory of why you think you're entitled to this benefit. That's what I think they're saying. Now, here we go. They inferred the IU, and I am having a hard time getting it processed. That was a duty to assist error. What do you think? You got any advice to her, Mr. International? Look at the quote right above you from Yandel. She said they inferred the IU, so I guess she's filed for unemployability. And you got anything you probably help her, or maybe you can talk to our brother. He can help you through his program. But I am having a hard time getting it processed. That was a duty to assist error. What kind of advice would you give her? Now listen what Mr. International says. The best way to avoid the board is to win your claim at the supplemental claim level. Now, and I'm sure you got knowledge and things given with your you being a accredited claims agent. You probably got some good knowledge on that. You understand? Oh, this has been so incredible. Well, I'm going to really close it out unless y'all got something else to say. What are the other topics you want us to cover? We're going to cover, supplemental claims. We're going to cover high-level review. What other things y'all want to cover? Okay. Oh, 60 days late. Oh, I hold on. I missed some of the stuff. Y'all be going, man. I got to watch y'all. Y'all be getting the guy that had the head injury in Afghanistan doesn't show a continued of symptoms from the time of the incident to current. So the symptoms have to be continuous. You can't, whenever you have like a TBI, they call it a concussion because it happened. Somebody said that's a mild form of it. All right, you're gonna make me pull that up. They keep saying they are waiting on employee statement. No, they don't hardly never get those employee statements. Eventually, they're gonna prove how long they've been waiting on employer statements. They should have processed it 60 days ago. Write that letter, what I showed you. If that helps, let me know if that helped you, Dale. That support a claim. Where I say you get an update by writing something to them, what I showed y'all, and I'm gonna pull that up. Okay. I'm just waiting to get processed. Okay. She say months. Okay. Our divided country able to be repaired, or is it time to move to Europe? Alaskan, he say, you already almost in Europe. You in Alaska, man. You outside the continental U.S. What y'all think? You think all hell about to break loose? You think Trump get back in there, they're gonna be cutting up? Or should we keep Sleepy Joe in there? Huh? He needs his big boy nap. I ain't gonna mess with the man. Now, let's see what say. I did write the note. I was told to call White House hotline. Okay. Consider who told you that. All right, let's know who did that. I don't know what to do with y'all. Y'all had me on here. We got through in less than an hour, and y'all, it's 2 hours y'all got me on here. What I'm gonna do with y'all? Family, but I'm glad we helping each other. And whenever you hear Mr. International, we appreciate it. When you hear, I ain't heard my boy, there go Dogface Soldier say, H-Town, can you help me and other vets process our claim, especially if we're under percentage? Well, we're going to help you. We're going to get the knowledge, and we're writing the forms. And like I say, if you need to contact me, go to my email, HTownVet, and we might get, I'll hook you up. But we got people here, Mr. International. You check him out, check his credentials, make sure there's something you comfortable with. He helps people too, but we all gonna help. Now, a lot of people some say it helps and others say it doesn't. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. Okay, I heard Kamala Harris took over Biden for the presidency versus Trump. Now, what they saying, from what I heard, y'all tell me if I'm wrong, that he endorsed her. That's what I heard. He stepped down, Biden did, and he endorsed her, but he's still planning on being president to the end, until January, until he or she, Trump or Kamala, is put in office. Do y'all think this thing gonna get stinky leg out here? Gonna get crazy? Okay, now listen to what they say. Not the Yandale, Mr. International breaking it down. What you need to do, you have to write a statement that your former employer refused to fill out the form. And a lot of times the employers, mine didn't fill it out either, and they sent it to them 2 and 3 times. A lot of times they won't fill it out because they think they're gonna be held liable if they say something bad about you. that's the catch-22. You hear that again there? That's right there. You have to write a statement that your former employer, so put that on what you think, Mr. International, on that supported claim form, just like we've shown that statement here. Let me pull that up. You need to do something like this here. You need to fill out support a claim form, something like that, and say that your employer, and you get a stamp copy. Okay, the VP candidate is a prior Marine. I'm assuming you're talking about the one for that's running with Trump. Yeah. Now, I did 4 times the regional office have to. Okay. I'm America starting to forget about the veterans. Is America starting to forget about the veterans? How do y'all feel right now? Do you think that America is starting to forget about us? Do you think they taking kids the way they should? How y'all feeling? Uneased about this thing right now? Do you think they're processing claims faster than they have in the past? I know it's never fast enough. What's y'all opinion on that? Support claims for what? Now lost you somewhere. Okay, lost you somewhere. He said he lost it. Okay. Well, we getting ready to close it out. Any final statements? And when I say that, y'all have me on another 2 hours. I ain't got time to be dealing with y'all, but we gonna keep it on open as long as y'all comment. He bringing that hot fire. Hold on, let me see. Mr. International gave the form. Let me see what Mr. International said. Make sure you write the statement on the VA form 214138, the form that I got up there right now, I think, right, Mr. International? See, that's the form you write it on. Just like I wrote this here, when you want to update on your claim, I gave you an example. You need to write about what you were concerned about. Now let's see what say. What the problem with the budget is, we'll slow down. Yeah, they need to take care of us. Then other people coming in from other places, they need to take care of home first. Now, the Afghanis and all that, and they war. We need ours first. 2001, 2009, I couldn't buy my meals if they knew you served, it was paid for. Yeah, back in the 2000s, the airports were excited upon returning from Afghanistan. 1% served, 99%. It didn't matter fact if you from 1% served to 99%. If the taxes were raised to pay for the veterans or not having to pay. Now let's see what college kids. I hear you. Kevin say yes. They are forgetting us veterans. That's sad. Yes, the supporter claim form. That's what you need to write it on, Yendale. H-Town vet. No red. This man crazy out here. Patterson tonight. Today is the day to rest from all that beautiful lady you got out there. Everybody think I got women out there. I'm focused on that money. They say if you get your money right, the women will come and show up. Okay, here we go, brother. Make sure you let the new subscribers know that the VA ain't your friend. Yes, they not your friend. They supposed to do a duty to assist, but they not your friend. Drinking this water, y'all. Now let's see what Mr. International, our brother, saying. And we so glad to have you, military right, Mike Kevin here. We got Dogface Soldier, Elastic in here, and of course the amazing Yendale. You understand? Now let me. I'm gonna get to your message here, brother. But we thank for my OB being in the house. You understand? My incredible people. Of course, you, Mr. International, military Mike, all the wonderful people, the ones that we hear earlier also. Now let me get to Mr. International's comment. Guess who's in the house, y'all? She took time off her books and studies. Hi, y'all. Frog Princess is in the house. You understand? Our sister, she been working, but she take time to come in and see us. Thank you for being here, sister. Now let me get to Mr. International. I believe it's going to get tougher for veterans' claims VA disability. It's no longer enough just to have the disability. You have to show proof of functional impairment. I've been hearing that word, functional impairment. Okay, Major Boomer had something to say. We miss you, Frog Princess. Now, I've been hearing that. Functional impairment. Have they changed the rules yet, Mr. International? Have they changed it? Where they trying? Do you think that the new rules are they're going to make it hard or what? Okay. My OB say hi. We know you getting that schooling done, but you amongst family up in here. But back to you, to Mr. International, that functional impairment. How do you think that's going to affect claims? Are they going to overturn claims, or My question to you. Or they just gonna make it harder for the new people that file claims? Talk to me. Oh, he said it. He said, yes, they're going to make it difficult. What do you think veterans need to do? Do they need to get their claims in now and go ahead and get grandfathered in, or is it too late? Now, here you go. Yes, sir, almost done. The 25th is my last day. Congratulations. Congratulations. Yes. You taking them summer classes. My daughter and my niece taking them summer classes too. And they going to work full time. Huh? My daughter is at an accounting firm. And my niece doing that, what you call it? She with the Girl Scouts. She's a troop leader, something like that. Now, it's good to be hard for the new, it's going to be hard for the new people that file claims. They need to hurry up and move with a sense of urgency. Tell me what the deadline is. So we may need to do one on that too, showing how the changes. We're gonna talk about it. Seth. We need you to be there for that one. How you're talking about the changes, how you think we're gonna give our opinion, how we think they're gonna be hard on veterans. I'm gonna do that. That's gonna, if not the next one, in the next two, either next Sunday or we'll do it on Thursday. We're gonna give our opinion, and that one's gonna be mostly opinion now. You understand? I ain't gonna get no long lesson. We gonna want y'all better get informed. Oh Lord, hold on. Y'all moving good here. Okay, when is the deadline before it gets difficult for us to submit the claim? We don't know yet, because have they decided when they're gonna change the rules? The PTSD rules are gonna finish. Major Boomer says, finish strong, Frog Princess, finish strong. Now, Mao B say they are approving mental health because it's easier to whack it that later. Now, physical is more difficult because that costs money later. Now, that's the elephant in the room. Mental health conditions are always been vulnerable because they're more subjective. Here's the thing that's going to help you with that, Mao B, because I'm 100% permanent total for post-traumatic stress disorder, a mental health condition, as you're talking about. You get different doctors. If you got 5, 6, 8 doctors that said you got a condition and they come in it from different ways, remember this, my brother. This is what the law say. Different examiners at different times will see different parts of the condition. So they all ain't got the same opinion. So they can't just do it based on one, especially at one exam. Especially, they can't reduce you based on one exam, especially after it's been affecting at least 5 years, because they have to have at least 2 exams. Let me know if I'm wrong, Mr. International. Okay, let's see. He say, I heard the VA was going to give us veterans a raise depending on our percentage. Is that correct, H-Town? I haven't heard that. Now he's breaking it down. Now, let me tell you something. Look at the end of the statement that Mr. International said. Check the M21-1. This man, he ain't faking. He know the law, so he ain't faking here. Huh? Let's see what he says. There's no deadline, but changes are consistently being made. So it ain't just, it's like a death of 1,000 cuts. They studies changing things, not just one time. The VA no longer accepts DBQs from licensed clinical social workers, providers for mental health. I didn't know that. So you got to have somebody like a psychologist or a psychiatrist. So they stopped taking it from licensed clinical social. So they slowly, that's licensed clinical social worker. So used to be a social worker. I think they used to have like a master's degree. They could do a DBQ. Now they trying to stop that. He say what that stand for, but then we explain. He say he got it. Now let me finish what he said. They made the changes 2 weeks ago. Check the M21-1. We're gonna do that. Now let's see what Frog Princess say. Good to hear from y'all, but I got to get back to work again. I got a project due in 2 hours. Girl, you go take care of that project. It's good to hear from you. You better take care of that business. We support you and wish you the best, okay? Let us know how it go. Okay, the VA urges lawmakers to provide $15 billion in funding gap or risk delay cuts to veteran benefits. Just print more money. That's right. Remember what Trump said? They can never run out of money. He said, one person, let me get what they saying about, because she left. Say get on it, Frog Face Princess. Okay, let's see what they're saying here. Yeah, we talked about that. And it says, that's a big deal, H-Town. Of course it is. Now, I have one last statement. Okay, what's your last statement? And then we gonna get ready to wrap it up. Dogface Soldier say, will the VA accept outside sources like lawyers or veteran compensation office to submit claims in the future? I'm currently going through a compensation officer. What exactly is a compensation officer? I never heard that term. Is that a VSO? Mr. International, have you ever heard of compensation officer? I've never heard of that terminology. Is that like a veteran service officer? Or that's just a terminology they use at that organization? Let us know in the chat. And what's your last statement, Mr. International? Because everybody get a final shout out while they getting that together. And maybe to answer your question too. But you can use lawyers and you can use different people. All right. Any retirees in the house? All right. And there go my cash app. All right. Let me see. Does everybody have a copy of their code sheet? Who has their code sheet? Anybody? And they got their presumptive illnesses. Let us know. Oh, look at them. They saying, let's see what they're saying here. Okay. Okay, compensation. A compensation officer is a person that you pay for them to do something. It is for your claim to get you the 100% permanent total. Okay, that's as long as y'all got an agreement and understanding. Suggest for the show, have a show with Mr. International as a guest speaker. Mr. International, would you consider doing that? Where you can be my co-host and you come up, and if they have any questions, you can tell them about your credentials and everything. And you can explain what that is, if that's something you would do. Did you know if you're a combat veteran, you don't need medical records to support your claim? No, because you're considered a reliable historian. If you are a combat veteran, you don't need medical records, because when I was over there, my PTSD, wasn't nobody writing down nothing, wasn't nobody recording, because you got the camera and your head blown off. If you where I was trying to document stuff, so they consider me to be a reliable historian, to be honest with you. Okay, any Alaska ice. I meant to say, okay, Alaska ice. They usually charge you $4,500 for the service, but they have a success rate of 95%. Okay. Let us, just give us the name. You ain't got to get no websites, but give us the name of the organization. You can put it in the chat. You can put it in there. I ain't got no problem. And people can do their own investigation, their due diligence. But let us know, Mr. International, if you be willing to co-host maybe in the future. When I learn how to pull people up, I can see you the email link and you come on. Let us know if that's something you're interested in or not. Either way, you cool with us, partner. But we about to close out. Y'all stay in here. So give our final shout outs, everybody. Unless you got something else to say. We've been here almost 2 hours and 30 minutes, and we finished within the first 45 minutes. Dogface Soldier, Major Boomer, we thank you. Mr. International, always respect, my brother, the knowledge and the hot fire that you and Yendale, thank you. Major Boomer, Dogface Soldier, Alaska T, thank you. Dogface, I already said, Frog Princess, Mao B, thank you. I'm going through it. I'm going to make sure I don't miss nobody. Like I say, Yendale, a.k.a. Alaskan Ice. Y'all been at it tonight. Military Mike, always my brother. I got love for my brother. All right. Man, y'all have been chatting away. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss nobody. All right. I think that's pretty much everybody. Man. Bernie, if you still here, much love to you, Bernie. Kevin, Cobart Sr., yes, sir. Mr. Lewis, when you came in, you haven't subscribed. Angel, when he was in the house. Anybody else? Any last statements? Any encouragements? Oh, man, y'all been writing all kind of stuff. I was reading that, man, I don't know what to do with y'all. Mr. Natters bring that knowledge. Okay, here we go. Would like that Dogface Soldier kind of lose it too fast. Okay. Dogface Soldier trying to get a player hooked up. He's trying to get him caught up in the game. He's trying to get a player to settle down. Okay, section 1154B allows a combat veteran. Did you hear Mr. International talking? Section 1154. I didn't know what section. I knew it, but I didn't know the section. Thank you. 1154B allows a combat veteran to use satisfactory lay or other evidence to establish that he was injured or occurred a disability while on active duty, even in cases where there is no official record. He's telling the total truth. I know this to be the truth because I experienced. That's why they call him a reliable historian. If you're still here, Mr. International, I have a question. When it comes to military S trauma, does it also, can they be a historian also, or they have to have more documentation than a combat veteran? Because I wasn't clear on that. Absolutely, I'd be willing to do that. Okay, he'd be willing to co-host. Let me get it together. I don't know how to do it yet, but it may take a few weeks or a month, and I'll talk to you behind the scenes, and I got your email, brother, and you always been contact, and we'll be able to put this information out there. We need and send some information about your bio to our email address so that I'll be able to, we'll be able to talk and I'll be able to explain who you are, and then you can introduce yourself to the people, and we'll be able to do this because family, we gonna make this happen. We the experts, right? You're welcome. DSM-5 study it. That's right. The mental health diagnostic book. H-Town Vet, will you ever come down to Southern California to a veteran center to do a conference for your fans? You'll get a lot of models in love with you, pimping. Now, I go down there. Let me tell you something. I go down to California. I probably wouldn't come back, man. All the beautiful women down there. But I have some of them kin to, because see, a lot of the people that went up to California, my people from LA. I got some people up there too. A lot of them came. Now let's see what Mr. Great show. Take care. You take care. Come on, give y'all final shout outs. Ian Dale is saving us. So is Mr. International. Great program tonight. Great show. Any last statements? Because we're about to conclude it now. We had 2 hours and 26 minutes. Before it get 2 hours and 30, we're going to be out of here. Because we want to thank you. Some of you may have to go to work tomorrow. You're in different time zones, and we appreciate you. And this is going to conclude our live stream, and we thank you. And yes, Dogface Soldier, I would consider to come up there and do a conference. When I'm trying to get my daughter them out of college so I can roam a little bit. You understand? All these disasters been messing us up. But this concludes our live stream here at the H-Town Vet. All right. And we want to thank you. Hold on. Let me get this in. For joining us. And good night.